Hi, this is Dries from Smartphone Talks. Today the topic, can give me about 10 minutes of your time and I will inspire you. And my accessories fragile to make more business. There's a lot. Hi, this is Dries from Smartphone Talks. Today the topic is why I think your next smartphone should be a Sony Xperia instead of an iPhone or the regular Samsung's flagship. I live in Dubai and supposedly one of the craziest fan and an ambassador of Sony. Sony would probably be happy about. You could give me about 10 minutes of your time and I will inspire you. I might even convince you to buy a smartphone of Sony. Yes, I have that magic. I'm serious. I've done this with more than 100 and I'm pretty sure I can do it in another 100 or 1,000. The proof is I had a shop in the city of Sharjah just to sell Sony smartphones. That was crazy, right? Yeah, many people thought that because a lot of guys don't sell Sony smartphones and many of them don't believe because the market is more driven by what customers ask. A guy came to me and he said that I'm in the business for more than 18 years and I don't sell Sony. That's how the market is, unfortunately. Regarding my shop, unfortunately, I had to wind it up because, as I said, customers were more driven by billboards. Some were specs oriented, while others were, iPhone oriented or Galaxy oriented. That doesn't mean I was not able to sell. I sold a lot of phones, but had Sony supported me more and the place was a little more better, I could have done much more. Well, for now that's past and let's move forward. So decided to make this video for Gitex Shoppers 2016, where pretty much most of the smartphone deals take place in this world, in this part of the world at least. In the next 3 minutes, I want to convince you to buy a Sony smartphone without an Xperia phone in my hand. That's awesome, right? Yeah. If you don't know Sony in smartphones, Xperia lineup has been developing Android since 2008, just 1 year after Samsung and HTC introduced your Android smartphones, just 1 year of a difference. If you thought Sony was not a part of Sony Ericsson and that they were just making phones since 2012, you were probably wrong. Because Sony introduced their first phones way back in 2002 before merging with Ericsson. The proof is, Xperia name was introduced at the time Sony Ericsson introduced their first Windows smartphone. That was the Xperia XZ in 2007. So now that you know Sony has been developing Android for more than 8 years and they are part of Sony Ericsson you used to love before. Now let's come to the real strengths of Xperia. Before I state the features, I want to tell that majority of the innovations in this industry has to be credited to Sony. 8 megapixel in a camera phone, 12 megapixel in a camera phone, or you name it. Sony Ericsson were the pioneers. In Android though, Sony was the first to introduce waterproof technology with the Xperia Active. And they have had IP68, the best rating since they introduced the Xperia Z1 in 2014. Of course, that was after Xperia Z in 2013 with the IP57 rating. They were the first to have full HD display in a smartphone. First company to have 21 megapixel camera in a smartphone. One of the fewest mobile manufacturers that has been in the market for more than a decade and have developed phones in different platforms like Java, Symbian, Windows and Android. Some features in Xperia I use, you probably didn't use in another smartphone till late. One tap, send all your steps from internal to external SD card is something only Xperia lovers can do for now. Screen videoing is an option that was introduced in a flagship of 2014. Stamina mode to have better battery life is a concept Sony introduced and is one of its first, it's first of its kind that has been in the market for more than 3 years. What it does is basically it saves your battery draining in standby while keeping your connectivity ready at all times. I don't think any company has ever come closer to these features. Xperia has had phones that top the battery life ranking in the past year. The accessories are always very durable, unlike other makers who make the accessories fragile to make more business. There's a lot I want to say, but I want to cut it to the end. The recent launch of Xperia XZ packs a 25 megapixel camera, which humbly Sony claims as the 23 megapixel with a lot of features. Sony's flagships are a bit thicker than the other flagships in the market, but if you see others have 8 or 12 megapixel camera lens popping out of the body. Yes, you guessed it right. I'm talking about the iPhone, which apparently carries a Sony camera lens anyways. Now in this Gitex, I'll be covering Sony and other brands and the cool offers that you can get your hands on. But I really do persuade you guys to, try Sony's latest, or at least the Xperia X, which is a mid-range, a cool mid-range smartphone of Sony, with a refined design and a very well tweaked Android UI with a 23 megapixel camera. They have kept the UI more original Android looking to keep the speed, but you shouldn't miss out on the themes. They bring back the old memoirs of Sony Ericsson. Well, of course, if at all you get one and want to have a quick walkthrough, do let me know, as I'll be around. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let others know the truth by sharing, and until next time.